Hey folks, Toadster back. I've got two replays today that we're going to show, and the first one is Rise of Horus. He's in his P43 Tur, and he is on the map Redshire, and he's going to have an excellent game. He's in a Tier 8 game and a Tier 7 tank, and I did not realize how trolly the armor is on this tank. And so he's able to take out what looks like a guy that did not know what to do. So one of the wheeled vehicles goes away, and he's already up to 600 damage. He's going to have a fantastic game. And we're going to watch it, I think, all the way through and look at the results, and then maybe watch another replay. So he's on the castle side here and just kind of pushing forward because he hasn't really seen much. So there's a VK3601 over here, and he's firing HE, so that's a good thing, right? And the HE does 0 damage, which kind of tells me that this tank must have some pretty good armor. So, but he seems not to be daunted by the fact that there are several guys over here. I don't know if he's played this tank very often. I haven't looked at his stats in it, but he is he's above average a player, but not an exceptional player. But he's going to have an exceptional game here, and so I told him that I would show his replay because I thought it was really interesting. This tank is interesting to me. It's one of those tanks that you kind of pass over, I guess, and nobody really does reviews of. Maybe it's something I need to try out. It's, I guess, the Italian Tier 7? I guess. I don't know. I don't even know, guys. I just woke up and just having my coffee and having a look over here. Now, normally I would not come here because these guys over on this hill can hit you and do damage to you, but apparently nobody's there. But there is somebody on the cap, and we're going to see who that is here in a minute, I guess. But he's got 1,500 damage, and look how little damage he's taken from that HE. So this is an HE resistant tank, as he puts another nice shot into the T-52. Unfortunately, I think that's a low roll. This gun's a 240 gun? Yeah, 240, 165 millimeters a pen on the standard rounds, and he doesn't have any gold, but his gold rounds are 195. So I think that Horus is maybe a free-to-play player. It's just a guess. 2,400 damage thus far. And there's a guy in the cap, it looks like. He looks like he's going to reset him. And let's see if we can get another shot into the guy on the cap. Why would you go into the cap this early in the game? I don't understand that, but whatever. So here's his next customer, STRV, which is actually, that STRV 74 is a very, very good tank if it's on a ridgeline, because it's got insane gun depression. Unfortunately, this STRV is not on a ridgeline. He's fighting a Tier 7 that appears to have a little bit of armor. And here we are, Rise of Horus, already up to 3,300 damage in a Tier 8 game. Now, the problem is, it's tied. So there's more work to do, right? He's got to do something else as he making little pokes. I notice, Horus, you don't have a fire extinguisher. I wonder if you forgot to put that in. And he does find a scorpion, but that scorpion's going to stay hidden, right? I wonder if it might be smart to go back and load HE for him. Let's see, he's going to poke. Oh, no! Here comes a T-34-3. And he gets a nice shot into him. And he's looking for shots into the guy's cupola. And, oh, is he reloading? Gold rounds? He is. Oh, there's another shot. Okay, that's good. Oh, he lost his loader. And that's the end of his game. Let's go ahead and look at the after action report on his game. Okay, here we are at the after action report. Rise of Horus ended up with a second class out of this game, earned 52,000 credits, 1,257 XP. And look at that score. Tier 7 tank in a Tier 8 game. 3,861 damage. And his team did not do too much. We had an SU-130 PM that did 600 damage. And IS-6B that did 0 damage. So really, I feel like some games are unwinnable. And Rise of Horus, I think that you did a great job. And you probably would have won that game, to be honest with you, if not for this guy over here. This T-34-3 did 6,100 damage, 6 kills. I wonder who that could be. Let's go ahead and take a look at my replay here. Okay, I'll be brief on this. One is Rise of Horus. Thank you very much for sending that in. That was an excellent game. Probably would have been an ace tanker without me on the other team. So I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the channel. I just want to point out that there's really not too many tanks that are going to challenge middle, right? There's no arty, and so I figure I'm going to head towards the middle of the map. I could face a Lance and C, could face that P-43 Tur, which obviously we don't. And I'm really looking to get a shot on these EBRs because I think that they're going to push through the middle. Therefore, I've got HE loaded. And the EBR does a very, very good job of staying low and keeping low profile. In fact, there's Rise of Horus there. So you'll see him later. But I'm going to kind of ignore him for a while, and you're going to see why. It's a zombie apocalypse. I'm telling you guys. It is this game. It starts out slow, but it's going to turn into a zombie apocalypse very quickly. I mean, you don't do 6,000 damage in 6 minutes or 8 minutes without having a zombie apocalypse. So once again, we're missing shots. I watched this with my brother, Combat Ineffective, just for fun. And he's like, you missed your first 5 shots. And I said, I know. Games sometimes start slow, right? So I am looking over there, but see, I can see on the mini map that this P-43 Tur is on the other side. So I don't really have to worry about him. And the Jackson ends up getting spotted, and that's our first shot of damage, folks. So we're going to go ahead and fire a blind shot. Spoiler alert, that does not go in. So the Tiger is my biggest concern, right? He's got good DPM. And what I don't want to do is get into a DPM fight with him. I could win it, as we're able to put a shot into the VK, and we take a whopping 15 damage. I can win it, but I really don't want to lose all my HP in the process. So we're willing to take 1 hit of damage from that EBR in order to get a nice shot into him. So really, I'm not on the cap to create cap pressure. I could really care less about cap pressure. I'm just trying to get into a position that I can bully stuff, right? That is my whole goal here. And we're able to get a nice shot into the VK. And here comes our friend in the Tiger. And so we're going to put a shot into him. I'm really, I put myself in a position in the middle of a bunch of enemies, right? And that's kind of okay as we get another nice shot in. It's kind of okay because most of them are far enough away, it doesn't really matter. Now watch, I wait for this guy and then I track him, right? So I wait to track him, and now we're going to just push into him and try and keep him tracked. And at the same time, I want to keep putting damage into him. Now I look off this Cromwell. I am watching the map because I know this guy's going to YOLO, right? I did not quite get the tracking shot I was after. And unfortunately, he does eat a bunch of my health. But that's ammo rack number 2 in the game here. And, of course, our buddy Rise of Horus keeps shooting at me, which is, that's his prerogative. That's what he should be doing. And look at all these guys over here. I don't know if I'm spotted here or not, but I don't really care. And I'm just checking to make sure that those guys don't have shots on me, and they do not. So that shot does go in. I don't know if it's the STRV or the EBR that eats the shot, quite honestly. So we're just going back and forth now that we've won this position here. And like I said, our point is not to necessarily cap. So we wait for the EBR to kind of straighten out and head in a direction before we fire. And that's one of the tricks with those EBRs, is what you don't want to do in an EBR is go straight. You want to be turning a little bit all the time. And so with him lit, is fair enough, it was pretty easy for us to lead him. And I messaged Horus after the game. See, and then we bounce that. So the armor on that's pretty good. But what we do is we go in to try and track him and keep him sideways. And we're now down to, we only have heat rounds left. So that's what we're going to shoot at him. But, yeah, I told him afterwards, I'm kind of sorry for bullying you. But I wanted to win the game, of course. And so you guys kind of know this turns out to be a pretty good game, and poor Horus goes down. But there's 2 guys left, and let's see, one of them is this AC-48, which I had no idea he was sitting there. But we're just going to stay safe while our Challenger shoots at him. And then we're going to relight him. And because we have heat rounds loaded, it's an easy pen. And that's basically the end of the game. I do not get another kill because I don't really want to die. I've got 157 health and this AMX-12T if I miss him, which is extremely possible in this tank at short range, I just don't want to die to him. So we're going to keep him lit, and we're going to let the T-34-100 come over the top and kill him. And that is the end of our game. Let's go ahead and look at the after-action report on this. Okay, obviously we got an ace tanker here, right? We got a cool-headed for 10 ricochets in a row, steel wall, high caliber, and top gun out of that game. So 1918 base XP, and we did have a blind shot, so that took us up to 6100 damage. 25 shots, 19 hits, 18 pens, and 2500 block by armor, and 1000 by player's assistance. Now we don't have any consumables, so we're paying for those, which brought us down to kind of a low credit earnings, but I don't really care, right? When you do 6,000 damage in a tier 8, especially a tier 8 premium that's got preferential matchmaking, you're going to be happy, and especially all of that in 7 minutes. So appreciate you guys watching. Horus, I really appreciate you sending that in. Great game, and look forward to playing with you again. Tonester out.